Making money might be the most important thing you can do in Grand Theft Auto Online, and today I'm going to be showing you a solo money-making guide that'll take you from rags to riches pretty quickly. This is sort of going to be an updated 2018 edition. I actually saw this post by user K2 Widowmaker on the GTA Online Reddit, who put this guide together, and it's incredibly useful. And I'll actually leave a link to it in the description. The page itself is very valuable with lots of details and tricks. In this video, I'm going to be sort of putting a YouTube version together so that it isn't stretched out like 25 or 30 minutes. I'm going to try and keep this as concise as possible. And it's going to consist of 4 different stages. So stage 0 is the broke, homeless, and jobless stage, which doesn't apply to most, but we are going to talk about it. Stage 1 is broke and homeless. Stage 2 is the contracted hitman. Stage 3 is president of a barely legal business. And stage 4 is diversify your business portfolio. So let's dive into stage 0, broke, homeless, and jobless. And once again, this is not going to apply to everyone. This is going to apply to people who are under level 5. So at this level, you don't have access to a lot of contact missions, but you do have access to last team standing, deathmatch, a bunch of other competitive modes like races and adversary modes. Your best bet here is to play a lot of the double RP stunt races or adversary modes, which will also have double cash depending on the week. Now, trying all of these out will probably get you to level 5 in no time, and it'll allow you to make some extra money. Now, if you despise doing all of that, then you can rob some liquor stores, which can net you some extra cash, but will also get you a bunch of RP every time you evade the police for the XP boost. Now, the moment you reach level 5, you can move on to the next step and actually start making some money. Now, at this stage, it assumes you do not have any home or garages and have little money but are at least level 5. Now, the reason level 5 is so important is because it unlocks the first few Simeon missions and also Lamar's lowrider missions. Now, the 2 Simeon missions that are the best here are Where Credits Due and Ballas to the Wall. Now, these are easy to do solo because there's only one car in each. Now, the Lamar lowrider missions are fun, but there's cutscenes involved with each one, so they take a little bit longer. The payouts are still nice, but they take longer. Now, once you start doing these missions, you're going to start to level up quickly and unlock a wide variety of other missions. At this point, you can do stuff like Gerald's missions, and completing those will get you to $50,000 in probably about an hour of work or less. Now, some recommended purchases at this stage: a $25,000 garage. You're not going to get a fancy garage here or a high-end apartment. What you need is a 2-car garage where you can at least store 2 vehicles. The next thing you need to get are 2 weapons. I recommend the micro SMG with the extended mag and the special carbine with the drum magazine. These are going to be your best weapon choices for that level. And the third thing you need to do is get yourself a free vehicle like the LG RH8. It's one of the fastest cars in the sports class, and it'll get you from point A to point B pretty quick for its lack of price. That brings us to stage number 2, the contracted hitman. Now, this stage requires you to have at least $50,000. So our goal for this stage is going to branch off in a couple different ways, but here they are. You're going to want to save up $1 million to buy yourself the cheapest CEO office, save around $700,000 to buy a Kuruma or a Duke of Death if there's obstacles in the way or you don't want to pay that high cost, and then save around $1,775,000 for the Nagasaki Buzzard. Now, number 1 here is absolutely crucial in order to advance to the next stages. The other 2 can be avoided if you want. However, at this stage, I would recommend picking them up if you have the ability. Now, how we're going to start with this is easy one-time money. So easy one-time money are things like the Red Dead Redemption 2 treasure hunt, where you can get a free revolver, but also get about $200,000 with little to no work. Also, if you're a good pilot, you can do the flight school and get around $250,000 for completing the challenges with gold. All in all, it's going to be around $500K for not a lot of time, energy, or effort. Now, the real meat of this stage involves VIP missions, and this stage assumes you either have an armored vehicle like a Duke of Death or a Kuruma, or a Buzzard. Both would be preferred, but one is better than none. So if you have the Buzzard, you want to follow the VIP wave. doing missions like Headhunter, Hostile Takeover, Headhunter again, and then Sightseer, rinsing, and repeating. Now, if you don't have the buzzard, you can do VIP missions that take around 5 to 10 minutes in cars. Now, these missions should be done in an invite-only lobby to minimize risk. And those in cars should be Headhunter and Sightseer. Those are going to be your best options if you only have a car. Now, this is where I would recommend checking out the article that I'll leave in the description. They go into detail on how Headhunter and Sightseer works. For the sake of this video, just know that doing those back to back will probably net you around $100,000 to $200,000 an hour, which is definitely not chump change. Now, depending on which route you take, you can either beeline it to the CEO office, which really shouldn't be too hard if you did the flight school stuff and the Revolver event. You should have an extra $500K lying around. Or if you don't own the Duke of Death or the Kuruma, you could do these missions more efficiently to get to the CEO office easily. So again, recommended purchases here would be an armored vehicle, the buzzard. I would also recommend snagging the AP pistol. It's far more accurate than the micro SMG, and it can also has a bigger mag. Do not buy the high-end apartment. Remember, this guide is tailored towards solo players, and heists are a waste of time if you rely on randoms. So it's really not about that. And the last bit of advice I can give you is don't purchase guns and vehicles you won't use to your advantage. Remember, we don't have a lot of cash at this point, so you don't want to be buying things that either aren't useful or that you're not going to use. Okay, stage number 3 is president of a barely legal business. So at this point, it's expected you've purchased a CEO office and you have an armored vehicle. Now, the goals for this stage is going to be to buy a vehicle warehouse, which is arguably the most profitable and lowest risk way of making money. But the startup is super expensive. Buying a small cargo warehouse and working your way up to owning a medium and a large one, this is a great way to make money too, but it's a higher risk, but with a really nice return. Owning a buzzard if you don't have one, and getting ready for stage 5. So let's start with the cargo warehouse. Cargo warehouses essentially have you spending money to make money. You can buy crates 1 at a time, 2 at a time, or 3 at a time. 3 is great if you have a buzzard. If you only have an armored land vehicle, probably go for 2 or 1. So you spend up to $18,000 for a set of 3 crates. And if you have a small warehouse, you can sell a full one for $240,000 per sale, depending on what bonuses you have in the lobby. So paying that back off is going to be pretty easy. Now, you could also upgrade to a medium or a large warehouse if you really wanted to. All that's going to do is increase the amount of crates you have to buy in order to completely fill one up. And it's also going to increase how much money you're going to make per full sale. Again, the article will go into description of how much it will make. A full medium warehouse grosses around $735,000, where a full large warehouse will gross around $1.475 million. So CEO cargo is incredibly useful and incredibly valuable no matter what size you're operating at. Now, after that, you want to move on to vehicle warehouse stuff. So this is my personal favorite. It's a little bit expensive to start up. The cheapest vehicle warehouse is $1.5 million. But what this is going to do is get you access to be able to source and sell cars. So ideally, what you'd want to do here is a trick that I've been using since day one. And that is filling up your entire vehicle warehouse with every mid-range and standard range vehicle. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys might not do this at the start, but if you do that, once you fill up all those cars, every vehicle you source from here on out is going to be a top range vehicle. Those are the ones you're going to sell because each vehicle you can sell for $100,000 each, which is going to make you a lot of money. So I would definitely recommend doing that. Once you've established your top range vehicles, here's what you want to do. It's something called the import-export wave method. It can be done in about 30 minutes and it should make you around $240,000. So what you want to do is start Headhunter, then you want to source a car, you want to start Sightseer, and then you want to sell the car. And then, of course, you want to rinse and repeat. And if you do the exact order there, you should have no cooldown time between the different steps. And that's the most important thing here. Cooldown time is your worst enemy because it makes you inefficient, and you want to avoid that. Now, this should have been obvious, but I would also recommend not doing any of this in a very populated public lobby. try and find a solo public lobby to prevent griefers, and sometimes you can find small trustworthy lobbies, but always keep an eye on the minimap for other players and potential enemies. And that brings us to stage number 4 today, our final one, and that is diversifying your business portfolio, also known as passive income. So in this stage, we're essentially going to be spending money to make money passively. Now for this, we're going to need to dive into the bunker business and also the MC business. So in order to start this, I would recommend getting the cheapest bunker, which is the Chumash one, and I would also recommend getting the cheapest MC clubhouse. Now, unlike the MC stuff, the bunker business takes place in the bunker, so you don't have to worry about buying anything else. With the biker business, you're required to buy a specific business. For this, we're going to be buying the cheapest cocaine lockup, which is located in Sandy Shores. So cocaine is the business you're going to want to get involved in with the biker stuff. Now, ideally, you'd like to upgrade the various things you can do inside of them, like security, equipment, and staff. It's not necessary, but it will make things a whole lot better as we get going a little bit later on. However, if you don't have it, you should be okay. So now that you've got your MC business established and your bunker business up and running, this is the exact cycle you're going to use. This is what I've noticed is the best way to go about doing it. You're going to buy bunker supplies and then buy coke supplies. Now, it takes around 2 hours and 5 minutes for both of these to completely run dry, and you're going to need to do this about once or twice over in order to completely fill up your bunker. Now, if you don't want to fill it up all the way, that's totally fine, but that's how long you're going to need in order to completely refill them. So you've bought bunker supplies and cocaine supplies. You're then going to want to source an import-export vehicle. You're going to want to sell an import-export vehicle, do a VIP mission headhunter or sightseer, and then you want to sell the cocaine and sell the guns. Now, from there, it's just rinse and repeat. Buy the supplies again, source a vehicle, sell it, headhunter, sightseer, and then you want to sell the cocaine and the guns. Each cycle should take around 2 hours and 5 minutes. Remember, the key here is to make yourself as efficient as possible during those downtimes. When you're not selling a vehicle or when you're not selling cocaine and guns, you want to either be, getting things ready for your next sell, or you want to be doing a mission that keeps you occupied. Now, this cycle, assuming you don't stop at all, will earn you around $104,000 net profit between the 2 hour and 5 minute cycle, which is obviously great. That is a lot of money for just 2 hours of not all that difficult work. So that right there is an updated 2018 solo money-making guide in Grand Theft Auto Online, how to go from rags to riches. It's pretty much a 4-step process if you are like brand new to the game. It's a 5-step process. And what's great about this guide is no matter where you are in Grand Theft Auto Online, these tips can be useful for you. Whether you think you've just been making money the wrong way, this can be helpful. Whether you're brand new, this can be helpful. And I like guides like this because the game can also be really daunting for beginners. Like you're sort of just thrown into this world where everyone has all these armored and weaponized vehicles and you sort of have nothing. So a guide like this can be incredibly useful. And once again, I highly recommend you checking it out for yourself. There's a lot of other details here that I just couldn't get to in this video to keep it from being 20 or 30 minutes long. But there's a lot of little tips in here that should tell you a bunch of awesome ways to make money. But if you follow those 4 simple steps, you should be on your way to having a pretty steady income in Grand Theft Auto Online. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below, though. If you have any tips and tricks for making money, especially solo, let us know down there. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. We like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.